So I'll say it again. Today, as we speak, this is July 2021. Every dollar printed by or spent by the U.S. government, 60% is fake. 60% are fake dollars.
What surprised you most about what's happened over the last 12 months, Robert?
Well, what surprises me is how desperate the United States is right now, because if the government spends $100, 60 of it is printed. 60 of it is fake money. So the U.S. is now dumping money straight into the economy, whereas before it used to go through the banking system. Today it's going straight into the economy. And that means the United States is pretty desperate, but it creates a sugar high. Everybody's happy, America's rich and all this. That's what Zimbabwe did. And that's what Venezuela did. And that's what Germany did during the Weimar Republic. So history is repeating itself, except history proves we don't learn from history.
What is the basis of your investment philosophy?
Well, I don't trust the government. And most of the Aussies I know don't trust their government either.
All your books, I've learned from them, I've enjoyed them, was the cash flow quadrant. Maybe we could just quickly walk through this, because it's important to understand where you fit in the game, isn't it?
Well, the quadrant is very simply 4 different people that make up the world of money. E stands for employee. S stands for self-employed or small business, like a doctor or a lawyer or a chip shop owner or a meat pie owner. And B stands for big business, but B really stands for a brand, like brand, and I stands for insider. So I always invest from the I quadrant as an insider into brands. And Warren Buffett invests in brands like Gillette, Coca-Cola, and things like that. Unfortunately, most people go to the E and the S side, and the taxes are highest for employees and small business. In Aussie, your self-employed pay about 60% in tax. Employees pay 40%.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I believe you're suggesting the world's biggest financial crash is coming. Is that right?
Correct. Well, Harry and I are on the same team as that. The United States is destroying the U.S. dollar. And in 1944, the U.S. dollar became the reserve currency of the world. So basically, in 1944, the U.S. government or the U.S. Treasury promised the world the dollar would be backed by gold. And they broke that in 1971, so now they can print as much as they want. So America broke its promise to the world because they promised the U.S. dollar would be as good as gold, but today it isn't. Every dollar printed by or spent by the U.S. government, 60% is fake. 60% are fake dollars. So it puts America into a bubble. Everybody feels happy. China ships to us. Aussie ships to us. Everybody's happy as Larry, except they're drunk as skunks. On fake money.
So why do you think it's a bubble? How do you know for sure it's a bubble? People are happy. It's all going well.
Well, it's because in 2008, it bust. There was a thing called, I won't get into it, it's called a repo market.
Yeah.
It's called the repurchase market. So there was a bubble in 2008, which led to the subprime real estate crash. So instead of fixing the problem, the United States, I'm not blaming Aussie, the United States just kept printing more money. So by 2016, it was going really, really high. And my friend Donald Trump printed even more. And now Biden is printing even more. And here we are in 2021. It is the biggest bubble ever blown in world history. So Harry Dent and I talk about that, but we also talk, how do you prepare yourself for what's going to come? I think that's the most important thing, because you and I are not going to stop it.
No.
But it's coming.
Can't it just deflate slowly, Robert? Does it really have to burst?
I mean, I wish it could, but I don't think so. I think we're on the eve of destruction. This has happened before in history, and it happens around every 80 years or something like that, and we're on it right now.
What about Bitcoin? That seems to be the flavor of the month at present, Robert.
Well, I don't know much about Bitcoin. I just know I started buying it at 9,000 US. So I'm still in the money. I stopped buying also. I bought about 60 coins, so I'm still in the money. Does that make sense to you? So a lot of times with investing, it's often when you buy. And unfortunately, what people do, as you know, they wait for the top of the market to buy, and then it crashes them. So I'm not recommending Bitcoin, but the reason I like Bitcoin is because it's decentralized. The federal bank, the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank, is centralized. The Reserve Bank of Australia is centralized. Centralized is Marxist, communist. It was Lenin who says centralized banking is essential to communism. And so the Fed is a communist organization. So I like Bitcoin because it's decentralized. I like gold and silver because they're decentralized.
So if gold and silver are a choice of yours to retain your assets, but they don't bring in cash flow, how does that sit with what you said a while ago, that assets have to bring in cash flow?
I make about $4 million a month in income from real estate, and my books bring in another $1 million a month. So I have assets. I have real assets. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin are like my savings.
Makes sense.
I've never spent a gold coin, a silver coin, or Bitcoin. But that's where I save my money. That's why I said savers are losers if they're saving Aussie dollars, yuan, or Aussie.
So what should we do in the meantime? Should we sell up our assets, Rob?
You know, if you're a stock guy, it's going to be a great time if you know how to short the markets coming down. I don't know how to do that. Prices of gold, silver, Bitcoin will crash too. U.S. dollar to rise. Be patient. Massive money printing ahead, destroying the dollar. Time to buy more gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So I'm asked this question, okay, everything went up, everything's inflated. So I went in, since I played Monopoly as a young boy, I went into investing in real estate. The reason I like real estate is because I can use debt. You know, debt is tax-free money. I know everybody says get out of debt, but you have to know what you're doing. I don't recommend it, but I borrow as much as I like because it's tax-free. Let's say I borrow $1 million. It's a tax-free $1 million. If I had to work for $1 million, it cost me $2 million because I had to pay the taxes on it. So debt is tax-free money, and with that, I buy real estate. But everything has gone up, and today I'm a little spooked because the last deal that Ken McElroy and I worked on, it was a $30 million property. And because people are so desperate for anything, so the bidding started, it went to 32 million, and we stayed in at 32 million. Then it hit 34 million, and at that point we got out. It didn't make sense at 34 million, and the property ultimately sold for 36 million. That's a bubble. It doesn't make sense.